Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cole. I love fun and colourful makeup. I'm not a clean makeup girly, so if you aren't either, then hit that subscribe button. You found a safe place for all things fun, colourful and glittery. Today we're going to be talking about the newest release from Pastel Roses. This is the Sakura palette. Sakura? Either way, this is what she looks like inside. It's a little bit more muted than I would normally go for, but I'm excited to play with this today. I cannot wait to put this mint green in my inner corners. So this is what she looks like. We're going to play with her today. I have already primed my eyelids with the Beauty Bay eyeshadow primer, which apparently has been discontinued, which makes me incredibly sad. Let me tell you that. Okay, so we're just going to dive straight in. I think I want to start with this shade here called Petals. And I think we're going to do not a cut crease today, because I feel like I've done a lot of cut creases lately. So we're going to start with Petals, and I'm using a E92 from P. Louise. This is one of the brushes we got in the April budget box, March budget box, something like that. So we're just going to pop this straight through the crease. I want to do something kind of pinky today, but then like I said, I want to put that mint in my inner corner. So we're just going to blend this out. I haven't bought a Pastel Roses eyeshadow palette in a while, because the last one I did buy, which was probably like 2 years ago, I ended up having to throw away because I think the Pastel Roses shimmer formula is so like emollient that it all started kind of leaking out of the shadows and the palette just looked gross, and I just wasn't 100% sure whether it was still hygienic. So although I really liked the palette, it was like a pastel, I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head. It was like a pastel palette. I did have to let that one go. So I'm hoping that they've kind of changed the formula a little bit for what they put in their eyeshadow palettes, just to stop that kind of stuff happening. I've got lash glue in my eyelashes. We're just going to leave it there. So this shade is really pretty. It's taking a little bit of building up, but it's a really pretty like baby pink. This would look beautiful just like washed over the lid for something a little more subtle. Right, okay, I am going to take, this is a Gerard Cosmetics P22, which is a little flat shader brush. I think I'm going to start the halo with Cherry. And we're just going to start by pressing this onto the lid. It's really pretty. Not quite as deep as I wanted it, but still a very, very pretty shade. And we're going to use the same brush to go on the inner corner. I do want to leave quite a big gap in my halo today, because I want to play with a couple of these shimmers. I want to see if they're the same kind of normal Pastel Roses formula. Okay, I think I want a touch more depth, so I'm going to take a very little pencil brush. I think we're going to go in with this shade here called Love. I just want to blend this into the very kind of edge of the crease on the outer corner. And then to make sure the pink doesn't get lost, we're going to go back in with that P22 and go back over that brown to kind of make it more like a burgundy. I'm actually going to mix a little bit of the brown into the pink, just to add a little bit more depth, but you can see the difference. We're going into the immediate crease, then we're going to mix like 2 taps of Love with like 4 taps of Cherry on my P22, and then we're just going to pat that over to blend that brown in. Okay, we're going back to our E92, back into the shade Petals, and I'm just going to go over the edges of the outer corner. And just building up in the middle a little bit more. And taking it right into the inner corner, just lightly. I don't want that to be as kind of diffused as the outer edge. That's what we are looking like. Right, okay. We're going to take a P. Louise E91. Okay, so these are our 4 shimmer options. I think I'm going to go for these 2. So this one is Hanami, this one here, and then this one here is Satin. This is the shade Sakura, and then this one is Allure. All very beautiful. I'm going to include some swatches, which you will have already seen. And we're going to take the E91. I'm going to take Hanami first. We're just going to press this on the very edges of that darker shade. I don't know whether the camera is picking that up to its full potential, but it's very pretty. And this is with no extra base, there's no water sprayed on my brush or anything like that. Okay, and then we're just going to give that a little wipe, and we're going to go in with Satin. I was for sure going to use Sakura, but I just feel like this one is just going to pop a little bit more in the middle. I like the fact as well this palette is quite warm toned, but it's got this little pop of kind of cool tones from this and the matte mint green. This one is very, very flaky in the pan though, just to pre-warn you. Pastel roses are not eyeshadows I'd ever use after doing my foundation. Okay, we're going to go back into Hanami, just to make sure that's not kind of lost. Okay, and then because I know we're using the lime green in the inner corner, I want to pull in this. This is one of the new products from Beauty Moon. I do have a code with Beauty Moon if you do want to use it. It is affiliated, but it's just Coleoftheball in all caps. If I could get this lid off, that would be excellent. Gotcha. So this is Mystic Lime. These are like gel eyeliners. They are a little bit liquidy. I'm just going to use what is on the little protective lid. I'm going to take a Glisten number 9. How cute. Okay, cute, 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 cute. Right, okay, I am going to go. I am filming another foundation review today. So I'm going to go film that and then I'm going to come back. We're going to do the rest of my face. Right, okay, skin is on and so are my brows. I'm trying out the new Dior Forever Hydra Nude. This will be up at some point during Everyday May. I've got Kosas Airbrow and Anastasia Brow Wiz in my brows. And then I've got Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer, Laura Mercier Tone Up Rose, and Beauty Bay Donut on my skin. Right, let's do a little bit of blush. I've got one of the new matte bouncy blushes from Rare Beauty. This is the shade Thriving, and I just thought it would be perfect for this eye look. So these are a really weird texture, but the shade is super pretty. So I'm just going to take my Real Techniques blush brush. I'm only going to go into it like twice. I don't know whether that'll be enough. Is this enough? Yeah, okay. So these are super pigmented. Literally tapped into it twice. And when I say tapped, I mean tapped. And it is very, very pigmented. I do just want to go into it once more and just put it like up into the eyeshadow. I've been loving doing this with my blush lately. Especially when I'm doing a kind of pinky look. Okay, beautiful. I like that. I like that a lot. And then highlighter wise, I've got this one from Kimchi. This is Pearl Gone Wild in Dream. This is beautiful. I don't very often buy highlighters, but I've bought the NYX ones lately, and then this one, and I'm very much enjoying it. I feel like 2012 me and her obsession with highlighter is coming back. I'm not going too heavy today, because this is quite like sparkly and glittery, so I don't want to go mad, but I do want to kind of lean into the sparkle we've got going on the eyes. Right, okay, let's do our under eyes. I'm going to take the little pencil brush we used and we're going to go in with Cherry, and then we're going to mix a little bit of Love in. So like 2 taps of Cherry, 2 taps of Love, and then about 15 more taps of Cherry. Love these 2 shades mixed together. They give you the kind of like burgundy vibe, which I do love. And we're just going to make sure this is all like connected up with the lid. Just going to deepen up the outer corner a little bit with that shade, and then I'm just going to go in with the fluffy brush and into Petals again and just diffuse this a little bit around the edges. Okay, lovely stuff. Right, now I'm excited. I'm going to take a tiny little flat brush and we're going to go into green tea. I'm excited for this. I feel like it's really going to make this look pop. And we're just going to put this in the outer corner. I was kind of hoping this would pop a little more. I like it now, but it definitely needed building. Okay, I like that. I like the way it looks. It's definitely not the most pigmented mint eyeshadow I've ever tried. It definitely needs like a little bit of like building up. But I think it looks pretty. So, yeah. If you want a really, really intense mint shade, that one is probably not the right one. Do I want to do some gems? I kind of want to do some gems. Okay, let's do some gems. Why the hell not? Okay, we're going to do some little pink gems. I'm just going to take my lash glue. I'm going to do a couple of little dots here. And then I'm going to do some little pink ones on the outside. So 4 little pink ones, and then in the middle I'll do a little green one, I think. Or I'm going to drop the little green one. Okay. Cute! I'm going to be finding gems all over the living room for the next 54 weeks. Okay. These 3 are so much further apart than these 3. So we're just going to pop. Okay, there we go. They're definitely a lot more even than they were. Right, okay, let's do some lashes. These are Dose of Lashes Antidotes. Okay, while I'm waiting for the glue to dry on those, we're going to do the lip. I'm excited about this. This is Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine. I'm just going to do a little bit of a line around the outside and a little bit in, and then we're going to use this. This is the Half Magic Crystal Butter in Icon Aura. I just thought with these pinks it would be perfect. I'm sorry, just look at that. Look how sparkly it is. I'm obsessed with these, and I expel the rest of them. The only thing I do not love is the packaging, because it lines up, and like it really bothers me when it's not perfectly aligned where it should be. Small things, I guess, small things. Okay, let's sort my hair out while I wait for that giant splodge of mascara to dry. Top tip, spoolie for mascara smudges. I'm just kind of flake it off. You can only do this when it's dry though. Otherwise you make more of a mess like I just did. Okay, so that is the look with Sakura. This is the palette, this is the look. I really love the way this turned out. I think it's actually a really versatile little palette. You can kind of go the green route. We've got a kind of like khaki green as well, so you can definitely go more like green route. You can do the pinks, you can do the neutrals. I think this is a really lovely palette. I really like the formula. The matte formula has really surprised me because it was really enjoyable to use. The only one I would say was a little bit disappointed was green tea, just because it's not quite as kind of bold and poppy as I wanted it to be. But overall, I think this is a really lovely palette. I'm going to keep using it. Like I said, I feel like for a 12 pan that possibly doesn't look the most versatile in the world, it is actually really versatile. So I'm excited to dig into it more. Let me know, did you pick this one up? Is this a colour story that intrigues you? I feel like it's a perfect like spring release, like spring colour story. Let me know it all in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe, and if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and YouTube will update you next time I post. You've been fabulous. I've been Coleoftheball, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.